this episode starts, gusto ko mag-shoutout sa Podmetrics. Podmetrics is a platform we use to get all of the data we need for our shows. From who listens to us, all the way to where they are. Sa lahat ng platforms na gamit natin sa podcast ay nagagamit na rin natin sa Podmetrics at nakikita. So, pwede ka rin mag-integrate gamit ng Podmetrics doon sa mga Facebook or YouTube pages natin para mas makita natin kung ano yung data ng ating mga streams. If ikaw ay isang podcaster or you want to start your podcast, visit podmetrics.co and use the code MTG Show Podcast. Again, that's podmetrics.co and use the code MTG Show Podcast. Let's go back to the regular programming. Proud member, Philippine Podcast Directory. Welcome to the Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. Every week, this is the MTG Show Podcast. Good Lord, folks. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks na akong hindi nag-upload ng Wrestling News of the Week. Sobrang dami. Nagsulat na lang ako sa isang yellow paper about everything what's going on with wrestling. So, the first problem that may encounter natin dito sa podcast this episode. May background music tayong naririnig. Fuck that shit. Sana hindi makapirate yung podcast episode na to dahil dito. And to be honest, nag-figure out pa ako kung paano ko siya i-remove or kung paano ko siya ma-remove. So, no, I don't have any fucking idea about these things. Basta, enjoy na lang natin itong mga times na ganito na meron pa tayong ginagawa, meron tayong nagagawa, at meron tayong magagawa. Dahil sa mga times na wala tayong magawa, wala man tayong ginagawa. Di ba? Tanga. Just kidding. So, in case you missed everything about the podcast, this is a wrestling podcast, obviously, but mag-over the background muna tayo. So, let's talk about NBA first on TV5. So, recently, yesterday, July, what date this is? Di ko alam ang date. July 28 or 27, nirelease po ng TV5 ang kanilang statement and confirmation statement na kung saan they are going to get the NBA rights on TV5, on One Sports, and on Signal. So, that's a great big deal. Wow! Big deal yun, to be honest. Kasi, since nawala po ang NBA sa ABS, and nawala rin po sa CNN, o nawala rin po yung channel sa Solar, pahirapan pa rin po maghanap ng channels na pwede panooran ng NBA, to be honest. So, at least, meron ng options, meron na pong TV5, meron na pong One Sports. According to the deal nitong NBA na to, they are going to show live feed every Monday and Friday on One Sports, Channel 41. Also, yung every Saturday and Sunday, live din on TV5. And then, doon daw sa playoffs, round 1 and round 2, ay salitan po ito. One Sports, TV5, back and forth. And then, pati rin na rin po yung conference finals. Ang ingay talaga, seryoso. Pardon the background music na maririnig nyo here in this whole fucking episode because, man, pwede naman po atang magpatugtog ng hindi ganong kalakas. Nakakainis, to be honest. So, tuloy natin. And also, the NBA TV Philippines will make its return na kung saan sa Signal lang po ito exclusive. I think that's a former PBA Rush channel. Tama? Oo, PBA Rush. And then, ito na po yung mag-occupy ng NBA TV Philippines. So, I think ito ay exclusive sa Signal. Pero titingnan natin pagka meron na pong nag-feed or nag-feedback po tungkol sa updates ng NBA sa TV5 and 5 and 1 Sports. Plus din pala dito, according din sa deal, na TV5 is the only network na mag-air ng NBA Finals. That's a great idea. Great deal, great idea to be honest. Pero sana lang po, wag na po lagyan ng Tagalog commentators because the last time we have a Tagalog commentators in basketball, that's a disgusting. Especially Papa Bear, pangipong ulam. Seryoso, I hate Tagalog commentators in a basketball game na dapat po walang Tagalog commentators. So, yun na po yung details ng NBA on 5 and the first perspective na nakikita ko is malaking bagay po ito. To be honest, malaking bagay ito sa TV5 and sa Signal itself kasi marami na po ulit ang mag-subscribe sa Signal. Aside po sa NBA, makakapanood din sila ng WWE, makakapanood din sila ng mga showtime events sa boxing and then other stuff. Pag nakabalik na lalo ang PBA, malaking bagay po yan, to be honest. The only problem na ma-encounter nyo if ever na mag-subscribe ka sa Signal is wala pong Kapamilya Channel. If you are a fan of ABS and if you're a fan of Kapamilya Channel, huwag yun na pong asahan na may Kapamilya Channel po sa Signal. Kasi wala po. Wala daw po. So, ayun na. Tapos na po tayo sa unrelated shit. So, let's go to the wrestling news of the week. So, basically, this is a random order. And sinulat ko na lang siya on the paper. Hindi kasi, seryoso. I don't watch any of this. Hindi ko siya napanood, to be honest. Pero, ang sure ko dito, pinanood ko siya highlights. Highlights lang. Kasi, you know me, ang only shows na alam ko lang right now is NXT and AEW. And also Impact. Kasi Impact is good as well so far. Maganda po ang Impact right now. So, let's start for Monday Night Raw on July 20. So, hindi ko po ito i-discuss lahat. Ako, tanga? 3 hours yun? Hindi ko pa panoorin yun ng 3 hours. So, let's go. Shelton Benjamin made his return. And then, ayan na nga po, pinin niya po si R-Truth. And then, he is now the 24/7 champion. As of the moment recording this podcast episode, siya pa rin po ang 24/7 champion. So, that's fine with me. So, and then lately, after po ng championship win na yun ni Shelton Benjamin, na-form na po ang Hurt Business. That's consisting of Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. Wow! Old school vibes. Sabi honest, old school vibes yung nakikita ko dito. Old school pare. Para akong bumabalik sa 2007, 2006 vibes. Taka ng music talaga to, pamis. Pardon the music na lang to, kasi nakakainis talaga pagka i-mention ko na lang siya lagi sa podcast na to. And then next, Ali is back with his first name. Mustafa Ali is back as a pampagulo. Pampagulo lang sa akin. Ang dating ito. At least, Alexander Ricochet and Ali is in the one brand ulit. Magkakasama na sila sa isang brand. I'm fine with that. Pero sana po pag-iwalay-iwalay na lang para mas at least hindi sila sa pawan. Kasi ang daming talagang sapawan ngayon sa roster. Dahil women's pa lang sapawan na, dito pa kaya. So, also, the same night, July 20, Stephanie McMahon announced that the Raw Women's title will be defended on next week's episode. That's the July 27 episode. I'm going to explain these things later. And then, Sasha versus Asuka is made official. But the sequence here is the title can lose by pinfall, submission, count out, disqualification, or Bayley. If Bayley interferes to the match, she will lose the title. That's the sequence. Yan ang sequence na in-indicate Stephanie. And to be honest, I hate the sequence. But still, the wise decision para sa akin yun. Dahil po sa character na ginagalaw po ngayon nila Sasha and Bayley. Which is, makes sense. But, kung babalikan po natin ang Extreme Rules pay-per-view or the horror show, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, that thing is fucking disgusting in my opinion. And I don't want to balik-balikan pa ulit ang pay-per-view na to. Excuse me. Wala pong COVID yan. So, ayan. Next is the Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler rematch is now settled. Actually, ang decision dito, actually, mamaya ko na lang i-explain sa susunod nating Raw episode na papaliwanag. Basta hindi mo na ngayon. So, ang decision kasi ni Drew is he will pick the stipulation for the match and then bago po mag-ring ang bell. So, hindi po niya in-announce sa episode na yan kung ano po yung kanyang pipiliing stipulation. And then finally, for this episode of Monday Night Raw, July 20, Orton beats Big Show in an unsanctioned match. Which means the unsanctioned match in WWE is not counted. Tama ba? Not counted and not tama ba doon? Tama ba ang term doon? Hindi siya yung parang counted sa history, kumbaga. Basta yun, ganun ang tingin ko sa unsanctioned match. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, yun na yung Raw episode for the week. And ito na rin yung isa sa mga huling appearance ni Kairi Sane. I miss Kairi Sane, to be honest. And then, Impact Wrestling. So, wala mo pang big deal dito sa Impact episode na to. It's obviously a post-Slammiversary show, to be honest. Kurt Hawkins made his debut return. I don't know. Hindi ko sure kasi Hawkins hindi pa siya nakakatapak ng Impact. So, I can consider this as a debut. Debut. As Brian Myers. And also, in-announce din sa Impact na magde-debut na po ang Wrestle House. What's Wrestle House? Ano to? Cinematic? Man, pardon the music. Hindi ko na siya naririnig sa recording, but still naririnig ko pa din yung music. And that's fucking disgusting, in my opinion. Nagre-record ako, tas ganyan kaingay. Maririnig ko pa din yung background music from the microphone na gamit ko. And obviously, this is fucking disgusting. Pakinggan siguro. So, next. Ano pa ba? Most defeated. Sino ba yung tinala nito ni Moose? Hindi ko tanda eh. Si Palaba. Si Palaba. To retain his unsanctioned TNA heavyweight title. Obviously, win to para kay Moose. And then, after the match, EC3 just made his return to the company itself. And then, he assaulted Moose. I'm not sure din na kung anong role dito ni EC3. Pero based sa mga nakikita ko, EC3 is a face. And Moose is a heel. And then, finally, in the main event, is gonna be Motor City Machine Guns versus The North. And Finally, the Motor City Machine Guns is your new TNA Impact World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So, that's the big deal things about this episode of Impact Wrestling. Wala naman masyadong big deal kasi post pa lang naman to. Malalaman natin next week kung ano po yung kakahinatnan ng Impact pagka nag-build na sila ng bagong Also, the Good Brothers, nag-appear na rin sila facing off against Madman Fulton and Ace Austin. Yeah. So, ganun. Daming dapat abangan sa Impact next episode. So, abangan nyo lang yan. So, next, NXT and AEW. Wait lang. So, this NXT episode is a fine. Okay lang. Opener the show, Keith Lee vacated the NXT North American Championship. And also, nag-announce din si General Manager William Regal ng isang ladder match, 5-man ladder match, with the winner will be crowned as the new NXT North American Champion. Sinet po yung date sa TakeOver sa August 22nd. That's TakeOver 30. And the first participant of the ladder match is Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed defeated Johnny Gargano and Roderick Strong to be part of that ladder match. So, I'm going to expect that this pay-per-view will take place at the Performance or the Full Sail. Full Sail is possible. And then next week's episode of NXT, obviously this week, it's gonna be Dexter Lumis versus Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. With the winner, we will be part of the ladder match as well. So, also in the main event of this week's NXT, Karrion Kross defeated Dominic Dijakovic while Keith Lee is watching on the ringside. So, this is fucking horrifying. Abangan nyo lang yung build up to SummerSlam weekend pagka ginawa nila yung build up sa match. Obviously, ma-official din naman dito yung Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross with Karrion winning this thing. So, ayan. Sa AEW naman, wow! Sammy Guevara is back. Sammy Guevara is back. I told you so, folks. Sammy Guevara is back. Ayan, wala na akong sabihin. So, next thing, Cody Rhodes defeated Eddie Kingston to retain the TNT title. Wow! This TNT title defenses is a big thing now in AEW. Lakas pa din talaga ng background music, nakakainis. So, AEW title matches, AEW TNT title matches, sineseryoso talaga nila yung promise na they are going to defend the title every week. Sana lang, pati pay-per-view isama din nila sa mga open challenges na yan. Huwag silang gumawa ng feud or storylines about the title. It's gonna be great, to be honest. And then Ricky Starks turned heel and sinamahan niya na si Brian Cage and Taz. And then siya, in-air siya sa Dynamite, sa Dark. And then, nag-conclude yung turn niya on a day later sa Dynamite. And then, he assaulted Darby Allin. Pero, sinave siya ni Jon Moxley. So, Jon Moxley is a fucking goddess. So, yeah. Finally, nag-announce po ng tournament ang AEW. That's the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament. The Women's Tag Team Cup Tournament. Ano na, WWE? Revolution naman dyan. Kahit September lang, Evolution, pasok nyo. Ang ganda niyan, promise. obviously naman, di kayo makapag-Hell in a Cell. So, please, balik nyo na Evolution. Ha? Please, thank you po. Thank you. So, SmackDown Live. So, first thing, Nikki Cross defeated Alexa Bliss to challenge Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title for like this week's episode. So, ano pa ba? Ano pa ba yung dapat ko kasahan? Obviously, Bayley will defeat Nikki Cross to win this thing. And maaari na po dito mag-occur yung heel turn ni Alexa Bliss and mag-make sense din na dito na mag-umpisa yung psychopath gimmick niya doon na pinakita sa horror show. And then, in-announce din na si Kofi Kingston will be out for 6 weeks. And then, parang ini-encourage niya si Big E na maging singles competitor. Ayan, binigyan na ng basbas and then gusto niya maging singles competitor din to si Kofi. Si Big E. So, ayan. Yan yung nakita ko dun. Parang sinabi din ni Big E na, ni Kofi, na he wants to, na makita na si Big E naman yung lumalaking talent sa kanila. Hindi lang yung team nila, kundi magkaroon din sila ng success as a singles wrestlers. So, yeah. Otis. Muntikan ko na makalimutan si Otis, to be honest. I thought na nagkapag-cash in na si Otis. Nakalimutan ka talaga na man in the bank holder pa rin pala to si Otis. So, next week's episode, Otis will make his return with Mandy Rose. And then, bakit dapat asahan ko dito? No big deal. And then, Jeff Hardy defeated Sheamus in a bar fight. Bar fight, as far as I'm concerned, to take place siya sa arena noong Orlando Magic, basic dun sa clip. And yun na nga po. Wala nang big deal sa ibang ko dito. So, Bray Wyatt is back as well with his Firefly Funhouse and sinabi niya babalik na nga si The Fiend. Not a big deal since wala naman si Braun. Nasa swamp pa. And then, #more Morrison. Yes, I love John Morrison, to be honest. Sana bigyan niyo po ng bagong push to si John Morrison. Maging successful siya sa main roster. Kung paano siya naging successful sa ibang company like Impact, Lucha Underground, sa ibang company na sana maging successful pa din siya. And then, the continuation of Evans versus Naomi. Excuse me. So, yun na nga po yung basic informations para sa akin na nakita ko doon sa mga series of shows. So, ito na lang. Dami na to. So, obviously, August 29, babalik po ang New Japan sa Jingu Coliseum or Stadium, whatever it is. So, ito daw po ang final stop noong summer event. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan. If wala pong pandemic ngayon, dapat po ang show ng New Japan Pro Wrestling ngayon is sa Madison Square Garden. So obviously due to the fucking pandemic, hindi po siya natuloy. At hindi po siya mangyayari this year. Maybe next year, pag maayos na lahat. Sana po maayos na lahat. So, also, naalala ko bigla yung kay Pat McAfee doon sa alliteration nila sa podcast with Adam Cole. What's the I want ko kung kayfabe to or work. Pero based sa napanood ko, mukhang siya. Mukha siyang hindi kayfabe. Kasi parang naalala ko, Pat McAfee is with WWE din. So, yun din ang iniisip nyo. Kung ganun din ang iniisip nyo, fine. That's fine for me. Kaya ba ang iniisip nyo kaysa sa iniisip ko, then fine. That's it. And then, next, Undertaker is now on TikTok. Undertaker is now on TikTok. Wow! Yay! Pero WWE lang pala gumawa nun. Fucking disgusting. Never talaga ako magti-TikTok. No offense sa mga TikTokers dyan. Pero hindi po ako magti-TikTok. Ano po ako si Raulo? Unless mag-i-stock na lang ako sa mga may TikTok dyan. Ayan. Yun lang. So, and then, sa iba pang ito muna, score muna tayo for AEW versus NXT. AEW sa ratings 845,000. And then NXT 615,000. Ayan. Ratings wise, AEW wins. Pero sa akin, dikit lang to. To be honest, lamang lang AEW sa ilang aspects. One, the Young Bucks versus the Unforgettable Team. Nakalimutan ko talaga pangalan itong mga to. Si Butcher. Sorry guys. Kung nakakalimutan ko talaga yung mga talents na AEW. Kasi, the only things na nakikita ko talaga sa AEW is Jericho, Mox, Elite, and then Matt Hardy, MJF, repeat. That's it. Yun na talaga nakikita ko sa AEW to balance. The rest, parang ginagawa talaga nilang jobbers or unutilized talents. Yan na nakikita ko eh. And then, according po sa isang post ni Edge, he wants Finn Balor in a takeover. Wow! What a proposal! I love this match, to be honest. Kung mangyayari yan, why not? Diba? Why not? Baka mamaya, mas maganda pa to sa ibang matches na napanood natin. Diba? So, yun. Final thing that I'm going to address here is the GCW Homecoming featuring Joey Janela and Leo Rush. This is the final match for Leo Rush in his whole career. So, thank you Leo Rush pag-serve sa companies na meron ka, especially WWE and other companies, GCW. So, yan. Ang inat. So, that's it for this week's episode. I'm going to sing it na lang, ibang bagay na lang for this week. Siguro baka mag-release na ako ulit ng Attention to Detail. Just stay tuned for the announcement sa page. I'm going to scrap everything na nasabi ko on the last episodes na lang. Kasi I'm going to revise the schedule of the podcast. Anytime soon, I'm going to revise it. Hindi na po ako mag-release ng Tuesday and Friday. Baka po Wednesday and Saturday na po. Ayan, baka ganun po ang mangyayari. Wednesday or Saturday, Wednesday or Friday, or as usual, Tuesday and Saturday. So, ayan. Final thoughts? Ang inat. Seriously. Isa pa palang bagay, bago ako makalimutan. Cyber Fight is now official. So, DDT Professional Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Noah, and other companies are now merged into one company named Cyber Fight. So, the merge will occur on September 1st and wala naman po sobrang pagbabago na makikita, changes dito sa company na to except for bigger roles and for some EVP. Yun. Tingin nyo na lang sa mga rumors, di ko nabasa yung iba doon. So, yan. Cyber Fight is, alam ko siya, Noah to Noah and DDT Pro Wrestling. So, malaking bagay yan na nag-collab na lang kayo. Pero, sana po, hiwalay-walay nyo lang kayo. Kasi, baka mas maganda siguro pag magkakahiwalay sila, diba? So, yan. So, if you like this episode, like the podcast episode, give me a review sa Apple Podcast. Baka lang. And then, follow the podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, kahit saan podcast pa yan sa Anchor. And then, ayun, facebook.com/The MTG Show Podcast, Twitter and Instagram, The MTG Show Pod. Anchor, alam niyo naman Anchor. Yan, sa Anchor, Spotify, sa Google. Kahit sa podcast yan. And then, like the page, facebook.com/The MTG Show Podcast. And then, ang init na. Seriously. I'm done with this. See you on the next episode. Friday siguro magre-release ako. So, peace.